Okay, good evening, empowered leaders. We are less than 2 weeks away from Celebration 2017. And that is what we're going to focus on this call tonight, is go over some tips and tricks, especially we have so many new people, or so many people going to Celebration for the very first time. And this is the biggest event of the year. So if you're going to prepare mentally for anything, this is it. There's just so much. We're not going to get it all in one call, but I do want to cover some of the things that you probably wouldn't be able to gather from the website, or just some kind of little nuances, some things to understand that will really help you be successful and have the best experience. So I'm going to switch over to my notes here really quickly. And perfect. Okay. So just by show of hands, let me see who has been to a celebration before. Love. Okay, I know a couple people who have their videos off are raising their hand right now. And then, so how many people this will be their very first celebration? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys. Okay, can't get my video to work, Rhiannon. First one, good job, girl. No worry, just keep going in the chat. You're doing great. Okay, so you guys, I am so jacked for Celebration. This will be my 4th celebration. Which is crazy to me. This is my 3rd year. So I started my journey with Isagenix at Celebration 2014. And so that one, and then another one in San Diego, and this is my 2nd one in Vegas. Okay, so my 4th celebration, and I'm so incredibly excited for this one because everybody that's going, when it's your first one and you get to see the look on someone's face, or the first time they walk into that room, or the first time they get to see Jim and Kathy Coover on stage talking about the company and everything else, just like being there for somebody's first time is like so incredible. And we have so many of you, this is your first celebration, and so that warms my heart, and I'm so excited to be there for that. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about what to expect, just kind of a general overview of what this event is all about. So this is 3 full days of event. We do have the opening, kickoff, and some product launch Sunday night, as well as some science talks. Now, some of you are thinking like, oh, aren't those part of the event? Yes, it's part of the overall event, but the actual general session where we're all together, we're all going through like the different product launches, the different keynote speakers, the personal development, the learning the skills, all of that stuff, that is all packed into the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday full day events. Okay, so Sunday, there are science talks, which they generally have in a separate room where the store is, where like the product store, the clothing store, and the ISA sales tools store. So all of those are in like one other big room. And then they have an area with like hundreds of chairs and a cool stage and everything. So like a smaller version, like a small event type setup, where they do science talks all day Sunday. So I know some of you are so excited for that, and you're going early so you can make sure to not miss any of those. So that's where that's going to be. So when you're there for that, the event is going to be about 20 times bigger than that, with like, it's a rave. The party with all the lights. Is that rave? See, I'm dating myself. So it's amazing. It is a huge party. So because of the 3 full days, a couple of things, really just keep in mind that you are at this event to accelerate your growth and your business. And so if at any point you feel like, okay, there's just so much going on, like they have it scheduled so that you don't have to miss anything, and you just got to bring your A game to every single thing. And I know you guys are in this business because you want to play at 100%, and that's what this event will allow you to do, is to give your business and your growth a blitz. We'll call it 4 days. 4 days of just intense, amazing energy and growth. You guys are going to love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so that means a little less sleep than you're used to, a lot more energy than you're used to. And it's 4 days. You can do anything for 4 days. So mentally prepare to bring your absolute A game for 4 days. And you're going to have the best experience of your life. Okay? So, like I said about energy, you got to bring your energy, you guys. So that doesn't just mean e-shots, although definitely bring some with you or buy some down there. But this is also your attitude. We rarely meet people in Isagenix who have a crappy attitude about stuff. And even if they do, it's like, it lasts about that long, and they're like, oh, never mind, everything's awesome. And they just keep going about their lives. So really mentally prepare and share this with your team that you're bringing with you. Set that expectation so high. It's not unrealistic, but just say, look, we're going into this. Represent yourself and your team and Isagenix with so much integrity. And that means that when you get there and the energy level is high, I know some people, like for instance, my husband, Jeff, he is more of an introvert. He has a white personality. And so for him, going into an event like this, he's not like going to be on the chairs, like dancing, screaming, ripping his clothes off. That's just not his style. Not that that's mine necessarily, but like, I love to dance. I love the loud music. I love to I got my selfie stick out and I'm just like taking pictures with strangers. Like that's totally me. But this event is for everybody. So if you're at all a little bit nervous, and I remember having this conversation with Jacqueline right before University in Action. And if you guys have been to University in Action, but you've never been to a celebration, this is what I want you to understand about the difference between the two events. Well, there are a lot of differences between the two events. University in Action is so much more interactive, so much more. And so while you're at University in Action, you are expected, like encouraged to be interacting with people constantly, to hone your skills, to, really get outside your box, outside your comfort zone, all of those things. Celebration, you are one of about 20,000 people and you're listening, you're taking it all in, and the energy that you're exchanging with others is going to be like high fives and chest bumps and like doing the conga line or whatever. Like that's more of the interaction that you can expect, obviously with a lot of like sitting and learning and taking it all in. So you're getting both. But if you've been to University in Action and that was like so energy sucking for you in a good way, because you're pouring so much into someone else, it's very different kind of energy. So I hope that made sense. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Lori, for chatting with her about that. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, I started touching on this, is representing yourself and your team with integrity. Leaders are on time or early. Every time. Okay. You're going to run into snags. Just plan on it. It is, if you're staying in the Venetian or the Palazzo, it is still kind of a hike to get to where the event is. So it's not like you go down to the lobby and it's right there. It's like you go down to the lobby, you go through the casino, you go down the hallway towards the event center. And I mean, so it's still like, you can get there in like 5 minutes, but still just really understand that you're going to run into snags. So plan ahead, give yourself a buffer, because being late for a general session or being late for events, it causes stress on your team. It causes stress on yourself for a lot of reasons, like finding a seat, finding places to sit, being able to get in there, not missing anything. Okay, you don't want to miss any information. And so no matter if the event starts late or other people are late, you will be on time or early. And to me, on time is like 5 or 10 minutes early, and early is like 30 minutes early. So just really having that in your head. If you're not someone who's generally on time to things, make it a priority that for 3 to 4 days, you will step into that leadership role and practice that skill. Promise that to yourself and to your team, because leaders go first, which means they need to show up first. Okay? So, and that's a standard I've set with my team. I encourage you to set that with your own little teams as well. The other thing about the general session, saving seats. Now, if you've been to an NYKO, this will make a little bit more sense, because that's another pretty big event, although Celebration's about 3 times bigger. Saving seats is discouraged. They'll even say like, please don't save seats, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of reasons for that. Saving seats causes headaches, causes tension, causes resentment. It causes, you're like, why? That doesn't matter. I'm just saving a seat for my friend who's going to be like 20 minutes late. Okay, I get that. However, if you can't go into the doors together, don't plan on sitting by each other. Because if you're saving 1, 2, 3, 7 seats, I've walked in where people are saving rows and they've just like taken everything out of their purse and they just like have it all over their seats. If I'm on time and I want to sit as close to the front as possible because I showed up early so I could do that, and you're saving seats for people who aren't going to be there on time, that's discouraging. And that's not what we do here in Isagenix. Now, you will go to this event and you will see people doing that, and that's because they don't have leadership telling them not to do that. I'm telling you guys, don't do that. If you want to sit with certain people during certain sessions, make sure you meet outside those doors or you meet at your hotel rooms and walk in together. Okay, that is the only way to do it, which means be early together. Okay, if you are like, okay, yeah, but if we get there at different times, they should go in and save me seats because I'm going to be late. Don't be late. Problem solved. Okay, I'm telling you this because I've been to many of these events and I have seen people get so frustrated, and I've actually had to have conversations with people I don't know, like, hey, that's not cool. Actually, like you're being rude to that person and they want to sit here. Your friends aren't here yet. Like, you need to let them sit here. And, you know, they're like, meh, whatever. And I let people know, anyways, doesn't matter. People like that don't last long in Isagenix, or they have an attitude adjustment right away. We're not those people, okay? I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but trust me, it will just make the beginning of each day so much less stressful for you. Okay, nutrition and hydration. Okay, so I'm gonna chat about this a little bit, like super quick, because this is what we do, right? We talk to people about having good nutrition in their body and hydrating. There is something so unbelievably physically draining about sitting in a room, expelling energy, soaking up a lot of good information all day. Like, it's baffling to me because I'm more hungry and thirsty by doing that than I would be if I went and had like a 2-hour amazing gym session. So bring the biggest water bottle that you can fit in your purse or your backpack or whatever, and they have water stations there, but you will need to hydrate all day. I realize that's like, oh, that means I'm gonna have to pee all day. You'd be surprised, you may not, but they have bathrooms, they have water stations, all of that. But please, I don't want you guys to get to the end of the day and just be so dragged down from your own bodies, okay? Because we have so much stuff planned in the evenings as well. How am I doing on noise? I got some upset children upstairs. Can you hear that? A little? Okay, let me close the door real quick. Okay. Thank God for amazing husbands. All right, so let me get back to this. So, okay, snacks. Oh my gosh, bring bars, bring Whey Thins. They have a little, is it, Amanda, help me out if you can get on the chat. Is it a Walgreens? Anybody remember on the corner right across the street from the Venetian? Is that a Walgreens that's over there?
It's
Amanda's
at the bottom of the Venetian, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what's cool about that is they have little like to-go sandwiches that are actually pretty decent. Amanda and I were really surprised. We got like a little ham and cheese croissant sandwich. And for being like Walgreens deli food, wasn't that bad. Yeah, see, look in the chat, Amanda. They have giant water bottles, huge water bottles, and the croissant sandwiches are really good. So even if you just like grab some of that stuff with you, I have a very beautiful friend, Della. Sorry, Della. Don't contact Della to go to Whole Foods for you because she's on our team and that will be overwhelming for her. She's ours. But if you are able to, if you get there early and you can send someone like Uber out, like everyone chips in, someone Ubers out to Whole Foods or wherever, just to like bring in some snacks and do that, it's worth it. Totally worth it. I wish we were getting there early enough where I could like meal prep and do that for all of my friends. I would totally do that. But just be sure you have something that you're snacking on all day. And as much as we love Isagenix, you will be so grateful to go grab dinner somewhere that's not a shake or a bar. Okay, so you want to make sure you have some like extra in your budget for eating. I know some people are super strapped on cash and they're like, I'm just going to live on shakes and bars for 4 days. Physically, can you do that and you have whole perfect nutrition in your body? Yeah, absolutely, you can survive. But there's something to be said about getting to the end of that really long day before you jump into your evening activities and be able to go eat like some chicken and veggies. Okay, I promise you, you will be so excited about that. And then sleep. Unless you and your roommates all agree that staying up all night talking is way better than sleep, make sure you are sleeping. I'm giving you permission right now to say to your roommates, hey, I need some sleep. Even if it's like 4 or 5 hours because we're ending here and we're getting up at this time, I just need to like go back to the room and crash. So I know some people are like super chatty Cathys and we love that about them. However, make sure whoever keeps unmuting themselves, be careful. Just don't hit that mute button. Just be sure that you're open with them about having that conversation because yes, e-shots are amazing. And yes, that high energy when you walk into the room is amazing. But after lunch and you go back and sit in that session with a full belly, you're going to be like, I'm dying. I'm dying. Like I'm absolutely fall asleep. Okay, I keep muting whoever that is. So whoever keeps pushing their unmute button, stop it. All right, the next thing, Isagenix Events app. If you guys do not have the Isagenix Events app on your phone right this second, it's free. If you have the struggle that I have where you are constantly having to delete cute pictures of your kids off your phone to make room for things, that's your task tonight. Do that. Okay, here's, let me see, can you guys see that? The one right there in the middle, Isagenix Events. What's really awesome about this app is it has, you'll be able to download the celebration event. And then when you do, there's this little desktop, you guys, and it has all this information like what to wear, Sorry, I already downloaded it, so it's going to replace it. But what's cool about this what to wear option is it literally breaks down each day and gives you suggestions and visuals on what to wear. So I know so many people are like, okay, what do I wear? Do I need to go shopping? Do I need this or that? And I'm like, maybe, but go into your Isagenix Events app, click on what to wear, and it even breaks it down for the gala, for general session, for the start party, for the Crystal Rally reception, leadership meeting, all of that stuff, you guys. There's a Spirit of Isagenix day, like wear your Isagenix gear day. So if you don't have any Isagenix gear, you can buy some down there. Again, I know a lot of people are making huge financial sacrifices to be at this event. If you don't feel like you're going to be able to afford a t-shirt, borrow one. That's okay. It's okay to ask, hey, does anyone have any like an extra shirt they can bring down for me? And then if you get there and you're like, okay, I was able to eat a little less at lunch than I thought and I've got $30, I'm going to go buy a shirt or something. Like whatever that looks like, okay? But ask around because you want to feel like you're just as much a part of that event. Now, if you walk into day 2 and you don't have any Isagenix gear on, that's okay. But if you want some guides on what to pack, right there in your app, okay? The other thing is there's information on the breakout sessions. This is super important because a lot of you who have never been to an event this big before, sorry, let me get back to my agenda here. So if you've never been to an event this big before with Isagenix, this is the only one that I know of that has these breakout sessions. New Year's Kickoff may have done it last year or the year before, but each from 9:30 a.m. till about 2 p.m., they're doing 1 and 1.5 hour chunks, 3 different segments with 3 to 4 different sessions per segment. If I said that right. Each one's about 1.5 hours, but it's giving you the opportunity to learn specific things that you just really need some like dig in deep with. But all of that information is in the app. I know some of it's on ISA FYI, but this shows you who's training. It tells you what time, gives you details on like what the content's going to be. So yes, good. Okay, Tierney, yes, that was the other thing I was going to say about those. If you're traveling with a team of people, try really hard to coordinate who's going to go to which breakout sessions so that not all of you are going to the same one. Yeah, it's fun to sit by your friends, but you are spending the entire event with them and you're not there to sit by your friends. You're there to just absorb as much as you can to get what you need to hit the ground running when you get home. So Tierney said, yeah, she and Julian never go to the same sessions. Okay. The only time Jeff and I have ever gone to the same breakout session was when they did one about working together as a couple. Okay, that one made a little bit more sense for us to go to, and we had people going to all the other ones. So other than that, really look at what those different topics are, and even if it's something you both want to learn on, pick 2 different ones so that you can break off and you can do other things and cover more ground. That's super important. All right, so a little bit more about the breakout sessions. Well, no, I covered all that. Okay, so we talked about wardrobe a little bit. Check out the app, but really, you guys just think like business casual but comfortable. You're going to be sitting, you're going to be dancing, you're going to be walking. And so I wouldn't wear 6-inch heels ever, but some of you, like Cindy's house slippers are wedge sandals. So she's going to wear heels every single day because that's what that woman does. I am going to pack my knockoff Birkenstocks in my bag so that I can walk around and do things. But if I just like, hey, I don't have my kids with me, I'm going to wear my leopard print heels, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to pack my Birkenstocks in my bag because I don't want to walk in those. Because I never do, and that'll be uncomfortable. And yes, it's going to look cute while I'm sitting there or standing there, but does that make sense? Be comfortable, you guys. Okay? Worst case scenario, and I want to say this for people not to shame you, but because I was there. If you're somebody who's like, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to go shopping for all of this or to do business casual this or that, if you can't borrow it, show up in what you can, and it will be amazing. It will be amazing. This isn't about going there and like, I've got to look the best or I've got to this or that. That's really important, like to come and bring your A game and dress for success, because that it's more like a mental thing than anything else. But I really want to speak to the people who are struggling with this. Come as you are. If that's what you can do, that will be perfect. Okay, that's really important to me because the first couple events I went to, it was like, I've had these clothes since I got my first job when I was like 17. But I'm going to rock them and it's going to be great, you know, so it's okay. All right, but if you are able to, and it would be fun, and you want to go buy some new stuff, go buy a couple cute new shirts. This is a great time to feel really good about yourself and feel like you're at you know, businesswoman or businessman or whatever, whatever makes you feel good. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with a couple of action steps for you guys, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So a couple action steps, so be sure, jot these down if you haven't already thought of these things or haven't already taken care of them. So rides to and from the airport. I know, I'm like a details person, so some of you haven't even thought of this, and that's why I'm telling you. Because for those of you who are new, I don't want you to get to these certain roadblocks or barriers and think like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, and have any part of your event be unnecessarily stressful. So rides to and from the airport. If you're not a part of a group of people going, I encourage you to jump into Empower to Lead or Isagenix events or one of those Isagenix groups. Probably not Lean Body for Life because that's like an open product group, but all the business groups, and just see like, hey, this is when I land and this is when I take off. Anyone want to share an Uber or share a Lyft or whatever? That's really important just to help you save a little extra cash, but also what a blessing to consolidate. Better for the environment, but also like consolidate, meet some new people. I've met such amazing people sharing shuttles. Amazing. People who are lifelong friends in Isagenix, and we're not even financially linked, but it's been so fun. I know for my team, we're coordinating that just so that we can really help people save money, because I'd rather you guys spend your money on a really cool shirt or some ISA sales tools than pay double what you would have had to pay for a ride to and from the airport when you could split it with someone else and use that money to pay for lunch or buy, you know, some enrollment forms or something. So anyways, think about that. The other thing I encourage you to do is download Venmo or PayPal. I like Venmo just because, I don't know, I know PayPal made a bunch of like upgrades or whatever, but PayPal to me before was confusing, and there's like fees if you don't do it the right way and all that stuff. Venmo is like so user friendly. I love it. VENMO. I'll type it in the chat real quick in case you guys want to go do it. This is what I use. You do have to link like a bank account to it just like you would with PayPal, but I love it because you can literally sit there and just boop, 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 send cash, and it's like 5 seconds later and the other person has it. Maybe PayPal's way easy and I just don't know it, but Venmo is like my whole life. I love it. So Amanda, Venmo equals life, right? I love Venmo. Okay, so download that. Why? Because at some point you will probably be splitting like a ride or a meal with somebody, and I realize like having cash is just so simple. Like, oh yeah, $30 ride, here's 15 bucks. You guys, this is all a tax write-off. You have to have receipts, paper trails for everything. Okay, so Venmo and PayPal allows you to have like a receipt. That's super important. So yes, have some small bills on you just in case maybe, but as much as humanly possible, so you don't have to have like a bunch of extra receipts. Like I have so many receipts shoved in my wallet, it's insane. But I encourage you, use Venmo or PayPal. It's going to make it so much simpler for you, okay? Your last action step is downloading the Isagenix Events app today. If you do not have it, you need to have it today. That event is less than 2 weeks away. And that app is awesome because every event that Isagenix does, every main event outside of like Super Saturdays, it's all in there. So if you're going to ICU Phoenix, like a bunch of us are, or UIA Chicago or New Year's Kickoff, all those events, when it gets close enough, they're in there. And you can go in and look at the agenda and look at the information and all of that. So it's just a really handy app to have because once you go to Celebration, you will not want to miss another event ever again. Okay, so that's all the main information that I have for you guys. I'm sure you have so many questions, and that is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep recording just because I know questions are valuable for other people who have the same question. So I'm going to put it back on team mode here, gallery mode, which you guys can't see, but for the recording purposes. So if you want to type your question in the chat, you can do that. Or if you want to use the raise your hand option, you can do that as well. And then I can unmute and call on you guys, unless you can unmute yourself. So questions or Mama Della, what is Venmo? Thank you. Look at me just like talking about stuff without explaining it. I'm so sorry. So if you're familiar with PayPal, it's like a way to send friends and family money easily. Like if you aren't able to just like give them cash. So literally Venmo is an app where I'm like, okay, I'm friends with Mama Della. I've connected with Mama Della on Venmo, and I owe Mama Della $20 because we split this fantastic steak, which we probably will, let's be real. We split this fantastic steak, and I'm like, Square Cash. I don't know what Square Cash is. Does anyone know what Venmo is and Square Cash? But anyways, Mama Della, if I'm like, I owe you 20 bucks, I can say, let me just open my app. I can say, okay, $20 to Mama Della, and it doesn't give me any of your payment information. It just sends it to you, and then you can transfer it to your bank account. Okay? So there's there's Venmo, big V right there. And so I love this. So literally, and you don't have to have your payments public, but you can if you want to. So like my friend Corinne paid Sabrina because they went to Salad Fusion, and so she titled it Salad Fusion and put some emojis. Troy Campbell paid Allie, and there's a snake and a baseball, so I'm assuming they went to a baseball game. Like, but again, you don't have to put that on there. Like mine are all private because they're all business related. Although that would be a good conversation starter if someone's like, Rachel Briscoe paid somebody for the most awesome night in Vegas. Does not sound like a business trip. You guys, you feel me, right? You know what I'm trying to say. So anyways, like, yeah, so Travis charged Brian a Lyft to and from hiking, Lyft. So the Lyft app. You guys can't see that. Anyways, you can use this for so many things. People pay their roommates rent. I mean, it's super easy. So so example, so UIA Vancouver, Lori Bren paid me for hotel and parking for her part of the room and her part of the parking. And she paid me on here, transferred right here. It shows me all my history. I paid Carity for a portion of her room. Like, it's just so easy, you guys. I love Venmo. Okay, I'm not going to do a call on Venmo right now. Let's see. Indicate in the comments the business purpose. Yes, thank you, Lori. So Venmo or PayPal, no matter what you're doing. PayPal, I'm assuming you can do this. Add like a note or a comment to your payment. Make sure you say in there what it's for. Like Lori's like UIA Vancouver hotel and parking. You know, so I mean, I wouldn't add like a bunch of flashy emojis. That's fun if you're like splitting gelato with your friend. But if it's like a business expense, make it like what you would not be afraid to show your tax accountant. You know, if the IRS is like, what does a snake and a baseball mean? That's silly. Just like put what it is, be very clear. Okay, other questions or clarifications? These are awesome. Come on, first timers. I know, I just did such a good job, huh? Okay, so I will go ahead and I will stop the recording, and then we can chat for a little bit if anyone comes up with questions or thinks of anything. But it's gonna be epic. Like, it's like I don't want to keep talking about it because you just have to experience it. But once it's like you can't stop talking about it. So, the other thing I wanted to say. It is not too late to get people to go to Celebration with you. If you've given up on people because you're like, oh, it's less than 2 weeks away or whatever, you would be shocked at some of the stories I've heard. I think it was like Kelly Dickerhoof. It was like the week before Celebration, and she just figured it out, made it happen, had no money, but she just made it happen, changed her life, and she's now like the number 5 income earner in the whole company. Granted, that's not everybody's story, but it could be your friend's story. Okay, so it's never too late to talk about it. And here's the bonus. Even if they aren't able to go, that's not up to you, that's up to them. Talk about it, like up-talk it. Just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I wish you could go with me. Is there any way you can make it happen? Like, we'll put you on the floor in our room. Like, we'll make it work. And even if they still can't go, guess who's gonna be watching every single post that you put on Facebook or Instagram while you're in Vegas? That person you've been talking to about going to Vegas who's like, oh, I wish I could go, I'm so bummed. Give them FOMO. Give them such bad FOMO that the next event they're like, I am not missing this one. Sign me up. Okay? Like, that's what you need to do. So no matter what, in fact, I say that, and there have been people I haven't reached out to in a couple weeks. I'm going to reach out to them again. Who knows? Maybe they will come. Or if not, they're going to be so dang jealous that they're going to make sure they're at the next one. No matter what, it's worth it. Nope, there's my almost naked child jumping on my bed. Awesome. Okay. Any other final thoughts or questions? I'm so excited, you guys. And I know those of you who are new, you're probably excited, but you don't even know how excited you are yet. Just wait. It's good. It's super good. Okay. I love it. I know all you people on phone, sorry if you're not able to unmute yourselves. And you had questions, please post them in Empowered to Lead so you can get your questions answered, okay? Don't wait until you're there and then try to figure everything out. Or if you don't even know what to ask, that's cool too, Okay, just make sure reach out and try to find some buddies. And seriously, you guys, if there's anybody on this call who's traveling alone, staying in a hotel room with random people, eating alone, all of that, we will adopt you. Like, you can come hang out with us, but I promise you, if you're staying in a room with people, even if you don't know them, they will become your friends. I promise. That is totally the Isagenix culture. Okay, I've stayed in rooms with people I'm not financially linked to, and it was just like, we're basically related. We're like best friends. It's amazing. Okay, nobody will ever be orphaned on this team. Never. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. So recording folks, goodbye.